In today's video, I'll be building a custom 72 volt battery for a Eleek bike for a customer. This is how the battery fits in the customer's frame. It fits perfectly. Before starting the build, I had to make a 3D model of the battery specifically for the customer's frame. After the customer sent me the dimensions of his frame, I went on to create a 3D model of a battery that would fit it. I used up all the space possible because the customer wanted a very high capacity battery with very high discharge capabilities. In this bike, I was able to fit 105 cells, which gave me a configuration of 21S 5P with a very bulky smart BMS, 110 amps continuous and 275 amps peak. After confirming that the size would fit the customer's frame, I started off with printing out the cell holders. Alright, so I just took all of the 3D parts from the printer to add an extra layer of insulation. For the battery, we're going to put on ring terminals on all of the cells. Alright, so I just finished putting all the cells into the cell holders. Now we will start with the spot welding process. Alright, so we have the cells in the cell holders. Here we have the other pack. We're going to start spot welding. I cut out the copper connections. We are going to be doing 2 layers of 0.15 millimeters of copper. Alright, so I have all of the copper sheets cut out for this battery. I already did 1 layer over here and here. On this side, I cut out the sheets as well. This will be the negative and the positive will be over here. This is the battery that will be on top of the big one. Alright, so I just finished spot welding this pack. It turned out really nice. Now I'll get on with the second pack over here. Alright, so we have all of the copper connections cut out now for the big battery here. It took me some time, but it wasn't too long. For some other batteries, I will be ordering some custom cut out copper strips with even higher thickness for even more discharge. But these will work completely fine. I double checked every copper connection to make sure they don't touch the series group or even get too close. I've built a lot of batteries with these type of connections and I never had any issues. They perform very good, so I know this will be a very good performing battery. Also, this is another tip once you have one side of the battery already spot welded, so that you don't short circuit, right? If I touch with the copper this cell and this cell, there's going to be a huge spark, and just to avoid that, I'm going to put some fish paper so that I can just take it off once I finish this one, and I need to do this one, just take it off and put it onto the next ones. It will just make the whole process way safer, so that there's no accident that can happen. Alright, so I'm starting to add the balancing wire nickel strips that the cables will be connected to. I'm planning it out so that on this side the discharge cables will be going out, and on this side we'll have all of the cables for the BMS balancing, right? There will be, I believe, 3 cables on that side because of the battery on the top. There will have to be balancing cables over there, and as I said, all of the cables will be from this side, so it'd make it all nice and neat. Alright, the first step after spot welding, we're just going to add the safety of the battery by adding a layer of Kapton tape. The next step will be adding fish paper, as you can see over here. After that, I'm going to be connecting the batteries together. As you can see, I spot welded some copper and I connected 3 10-gauge wires to the 2 batteries to make sure that the current will go out from the 2 batteries without any extra resistance. Also, in the end, I placed down the anti-BMS. It turned out I had to modify it. Alright, so the next step in the build is going to be modifying the cables from this BMS. We have to get the cables like this to the side, since this is going to be the whole thickness of the battery and the cables just go out like that, and that is not ideal for this build. So I'm going to desolder and solder them like this so that they go out from here. And I'm going to solder a thick 7-gauge cable over here so that it goes out like this, not like this out. I'm just going to desolder all of these and leave another one for charging, and yeah, that will be the modified BMS. Alright, so I have the discharge cables connected to the copper there, and I added the insulation on top of the copper so it looks nice. Also, we have the BMS cables in, and have the temperature sensors in, since it's going to be hard later on to install them. And yeah, we're going to start connecting the BMS wires. I'm going to add a piece of fish paper there, and then slowly insulate everything so that it's safe. Alright, so we have the top connections done. Now we're going to start connecting the other wires. So we have all of these left, and yeah, I'm going to add the temperature sensors as well. Alright, so I just finished connecting the 4 temperature sensors from the BMS. The first sensor goes to the connections of the copper here on the parallel connections on the second top battery. Second sensor goes to the main negative connections under this insulation, and the third sensor goes on to the cell themselves, so we know exactly what temperature the cell is. And the third sensor goes onto the parallel connections of the battery at the bottom. Now I'm going to be connecting the BMS wires to the tabs here. I'm going to add another layer of insulation on top of the temperature sensor so that nothing short circuits. Alright, so the whole battery has been covered in Kapton tape to prevent any short circuits. No cables go over each other without tape, so it's all secured now, both sides. Also, this is a picture after charging the battery for a little bit. The cells all balanced out to a very low voltage difference, which means that the battery is in a very good state. I'll start cutting out fiberglass sheets to cover everything up. I'll add an extra layer of fish paper on the top to prevent anything. Before actually packing up the battery, I am doing a very high current test to make sure there are no heat spots. Alright, so this is how the end result looks. The last patting is with foam. Under the foam there is fiberglass sheets, so it is fully protected for any punctures and vibration. We have a QS8S Plus connector here for very high current, and we have two cables for the charging. He wanted them stronger but without any connectors, so we'll leave it like that. And yeah, this is how the battery turned out. For any custom builds for your bike, for any DIY project, message me on this number on the screen right now, or join my Discord server where you can contact me there as well. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.